Okay, we're going to begin with 3 postures underneath the side mount for the upper body. Posture number 1, I'm going to place my forearm under the neck. If the chin is down, I'm going to push my forearm right against the chin. I'm going to move the chin away from the body. My hand hooks over the shoulder, and I'm going to drive upwards. My other forearm, I'm going to use the bottom third of the forearm. I'm going to place it in the hip bone. So here I'm press up, and I force my partner to put weight on her hands. Okay, so the first method of removing the weight from the chest is here. And the second one, I have my arm underneath. I'm going to push with my bicep against the ribs. I drive my hand up in the air, and I push the weight alongside me rather than up directly over top. My other arm is still in the same position as it was in the first posture, so I drive here. Okay. Lastly, when I have my arm out dangling, I'm going to place my hand on the top of the ear. The very bottom part of my palm goes on the top of the ear. Or sometimes when you can't reach, you put your bicep on the top of the ear. And with both of these, you drive the head directly over your head so that the weight goes alongside your chest. And like before, the bottom third of my right forearm is in the hip. Here. So we have 1, 2, and 3. When you establish posture, I want you to understand the things that you're trying to accomplish. Number 1, you're removing the weight from your chest so that you can turn your body or move your body to the side. It's difficult in this position with weight on you because there's a lot of friction inhibiting your body movement. So the first goal is to remove the weight, either up over top or alongside your body. That means that posture is not an isometric position here that I'm going to hold. I'm not going to statically achieve posture. I'm going to push, and my push occupies a certain duration of time. Here I begin my push, and at a certain point I finish my push. When it's time to follow up with an escape to guard or an escape to my knees, it's important that I'm continuing my push as I begin my escape. I don't want to pause between a push and then an escape. And this gives my partner too many opportunities to start driving down and destroying my posture. Okay, sometimes from under the side mount, you have difficulty creating posture. So we're going to go over a couple of ways to do that when you have a small amount of space. Sometimes you have just enough space to get your arms in position, but it's difficult to push because you feel like you're barely in place. When this happens, you need to insert posture with a bridge. Okay? You might bridge directly up and overhead. If you're using another posture, you might bridge to the side. But there are times when you feel like, man, I can't quite get there. When that's the case, it's time to bridge so that you can create space with your posture. This goes for all 3 of the basic postures, including the variation here. There are some times when there's no space for posture. You really have difficulty getting your arm into any kind of position. When that happens, you're going to begin with a bridge. So here, as there's no space for me to work, I'm going to bridge first to create the space to place my arm in posture. And then from there, I may need to bridge again in order to begin my escapes. So I'm stuck, I'm having difficulty, my arms are out, bridge first, and then insert the arms. Most commonly when you wind up in this situation, you wind up using posture number 3 because all you need is this much space. So you lift and you place. There are times when your partner is holding you very, very, very tightly and you can't make any space to get your posture in. When you can't make space, it's time to make momentum. The first way I'm going to do that is I'm going to bring my legs up. I'm going to swing them down to sit up. When I sit up, that's going to give me just the space I need to get my arms in posture. So the legs come up. And when I sit up, there's my space to insert. And you can do this for the other postures as well. This method of swinging the legs tends to favor the forearm under the neck. So swing and insert posture. Sometimes you get somebody that hangs on very, very tightly, so now we swing side to side. I'm going to swing to the right and get my elbow in. When I swing to the left, I may or may not be able to place my left arm. Sometimes when they hold very tightly, you can. That's okay. When you have this and you swing to the right, then you swing back to the left. You take them over. With the full momentum, it looks like this. and you get out. Last up, we need to talk about timing. Posture is very much about timing because everyone says, man, I can't get my arms in posture. That means you're late. Okay, the first place that I need to insert timing is not at the end of the guard pass, but the middle of the guard pass. So as Megan is passing, she passes, she turns into side mount, and then I think, okay, time for posture. No, that's too late. As she's passing, as this knee comes across, this is when I insert posture, so that the weight never arrives on my chest. So as the guard pass comes around, it doesn't matter which posture I insert, so long as I insert posture. And you can do this with any of the basic postures. This is probably the one most people are familiar with seeing during the guard pass. All of these can be used to recover guard or to go to your knees. And let's go even earlier. How soon do I put in posture? Well, if I'm playing butterfly and I have a good left underhook, watch this underhook. When did I put in posture? I put it in at the beginning of my guard control. Okay? Your posture can always be earlier and earlier and